Hi, sorry about my background. I'm at work. I just stayed here and did it so that I wouldn't have to be late with the drive home. Oh my god. I'm sorry about everything. Thank you. To start off, I'll start off with the attention getter. Sorry. This may sound crazy for some people to understand, but smoking marijuana is not that bad. Well, it's not bad. Marijuana, other known as weed. I've been researching this myself for several years of my life. It has been a topic that fascinates me, so I strive to always learn more about it. According to a national survey on drug abuse and health on drugabuse.gov, about 44% of people had a trend of smoking weed in the US. I could say that almost half of my audience smokes weed. If there was a large audience, I could say that, but there will only be one person seeing this. Maybe not regularly, but had a trend. My speech, I'll be trying to persuade the listener to support the legalization of marijuana. Now, the main point I want to point out is that many people think marijuana is harmful. It's not. If your lungs are the problem and if you think they affect your lungs, you shouldn't worry. In a study published in January, the 11th edition of Journal of the American Medical Association, it says the occasional marijuana use actually increased the smoker's lung flow and lung volume. And even more emerging evidence shows its effect on psychotic illnesses. Many people are starting to use weed to stop the symptoms of illnesses such as schizophrenia and depression. But mental illness isn't the only thing that is helped by weed either. Marijuana can alleviate symptoms of a wide range of debilitating medical conditions such as cancer, AIDS/HIV, Alzheimer's disease, multiple sclerosis, and Crohn's disease and epilepsy. But the list goes on and on. This is all because the amount of cannabinoids that is inside marijuana. Our body already creates multiple cannabinoids to help regulate many things in the body like pleasure, memory, pain, appetite, so on. So these cannabinoids that are in our body are extremely helpful for us. Marijuana contains over 100 cannabinoids. That's like vitamins, basically. Its two main cannabinoids that are inside marijuana is THC and CBD. That right there just shows that marijuana already has many good things for you medically. The good things that are inside marijuana lead me on to my next topic, that you cannot die from marijuana. And it surprises me that 25 states have yet to legalize it for medical marijuana, or have yet to legalize medical marijuana use. Not that this number will significantly change if marijuana were to be legalized, but in 2010 alone, according to the CDC, around 22,000 people died from prescription drug overdose. And that fact pushes me to another big pro. Sorry. If marijuana was to be legalized fully, this number could go down because they will be able to prescribe marijuana instead of a harmful prescription drug if marijuana is able to be used instead of that drug. This gets me to my next big point on marijuana, is that it is not addictive. In 2003, the British Medical Journal posted about two large studies, the first one being in California, obviously, where they surveyed just over 65,000 men and women. They found out after 10 years that marijuana users died no earlier than non-users. They also found that most users did not become long-term users. In a study done by Cato University in 2010, shows that the legalization of marijuana could bring in around $9 billion annually for the government. Not only can it bring in tax money for the government, but the legalization would bring in a flood of jobs for people in all communities. Jobs would be needed to grow, sell, and so on. Weed doesn't create itself. It would create a whole new market for jobs. You need people to also do research on it, even more stuff like that. Another way the government can save money is that they would not have to send people to prison for drug offense. It costs about $25,000 a year to just keep one person in jail. In state prisons, out of almost the 1.5 billion people serving time, over 200,000 of them are for drug charges. 46,000 are in jail for only having possession of a drug, mostly marijuana. Not having to put these people in jail would save the government millions each year. That money that the government saves could be used to, they could put that money into education, science, exploration, things like that. Marijuana should be legalized due to its many positives. That's that. So stop listening to opinions on weed and start listening to the facts.